Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 11th episode of the Urban Rap Podcast. We're back again with the boys. Sorry it has been so long. We've had a few, we're not going to lie, we've been busy. All right, we're not going to lie to you. We've all been busy. Apparently, some of us have a life and whatever else. So, welcome back. It's been a while. Hello to you too. Let's see the guys. Bill, it's been a while. How you doing?
Yeah, mate, it's been that long. I've actually had my hair cut.
Well, Bill, it's mainly because of you that it's been this long. We're not going to lie to our viewers.
Mate, no,
we wouldn't do that.
No, football's been back. That's why it's been this long.
Well, it hasn't been on every day. That's all I'm going to say on that. Anyway, we'll leave you for a moment. Jack, how's it going, mate?
Yeah, not too bad, man. I'm getting back to reality now, so like...
You're back at work?
Yeah, back at work, man. So it's harder to get here and sit down and do the podcast, but I'm making time. I like Bill.
Well, that I can accept. You're at work, it's different, you know. Bill, you work at home, nothing's changed.
I might edit the videos, okay? Sometimes not on time, but I edit the videos.
Well, we'll get to that maybe off camera. Anyway, so guys, it has been a while. There's been a lot of news in the last, I think it's been about 3 weeks to be fair. I know we sort of filled it with reaction videos and things like that. By the way, keep them coming and we might take turns of who does them going forward. But in terms of news, we'll sort of touch on the most recent and we're going to start with Bill because he's laughing. So we'll start on him. Look, we'll go with, obviously there's been a couple of albums dropped as well. But have you had a chance to look at Pop Smoke or at Juice WRLD's album?
I've listened to Pop Smoke, so I haven't listened to Juice WRLD's yet because I want to just have that time to just take it all in. But Pop Smoke's is hard, man. I can't lie. There's a few tracks on there that are just absolute bangers. Yeah,
I can't lie. I think the main one for me, obviously, the one with
50 Cent.
With 50, yeah, exactly. It's no, it's amazing. But yeah, no, I hear what you say about the excuse me, about the Juice WRLD one. So from what I've heard, it is very. It's an emotional roller coaster from what I've heard.
Yeah.
You know, and you expect nothing less because obviously when he was still here making music, it was that sort of tone.
Yeah.
Bill, I'm going to touch on you quickly. Did you like Juice WRLD? Are you a fan?
I haven't even heard Juice WRLD's album.
About his previous work?
Previous stuff, yeah. I don't mind some of his like singles every now and then, but I haven't really kind of jumped into ever listened to one of his albums before. So yeah, I mean, I haven't even listened to this new album just yet. In terms of Pop Smoke's album, as Jack said, there's some amazing features on there. When it came out that morning, I remember I was like, oh yeah, I've got to listen to this. The features look hard.
No, definitely. We'll keep going on the American theme. Kanye West, who's never short of words, has really spoken up recently in the last... Well, let's just sort of group it in the last 3 weeks since we've done the last podcast. Jack, start with you. You're both massive fans of Kanye across his career. Obviously, Jack, you're the biggest fan here. Try and summarise what's happened the last 3 weeks in Kanye's world. You can.
I don't even know what's happening, but it's mad. I mean, I saw the tweets, obviously, a few weeks ago now when you're saying it's the worst day ever. And he's just come out with a long list of things that he's dropping, what's coming out, re-releasing old videos, do you know what I mean? And yeah, man, he's been going ham and going again with the presidential stuff, which he did, I think it was 5 years ago that he was going to do. And for him to be following that up after all that he's gone through since that time, it's just fucking, I don't know, man. It's just all these things keep popping up and there's a new track coming out as well, the one for his mum. It's just so much to take in from him at a minute. It's just, everything's coming out at once.
I mean, you never doubt with Kanye that he'll back up his words, but something to that level, you know, it's even for Kanye, it's pretty impressive. Sorry, Bill, you were going to say.
Yeah, sorry, Sanj. Jack, didn't you mention the other day to me something about Dre was remastering one of Kanye's old albums?
Yeah, so the Jesus is King, there's a Dr. Dre version, but I don't know if that's a new version of it because he said he was going to do Jesus is King 2. So I don't know. It weren't really clarified, but as far as I know, Dr. Dre is working with Kanye West and that's going to be mad.
Big, without a doubt, big. Another artist who is always never one short for words is Eminem. I think we've been waiting a long time for obviously since everything that's gone under Black Lives Matter, which, you know, once again, just touch on, we always support the cause and hopefully sooner rather than later we'll be going in a positive direction. Eminem, who's never short for words, has featured on a song with Kid Cudi. Interesting one, they've never collabed together before. Never. It's the first one they've done. First of all, straight off the bat, Bill, what's your thoughts on the song?
The song, in terms of a whole song, I don't like Kid Cudi's bit at all, to be honest. It doesn't ever kind of get going. You feel like it's just at one pace the whole way through. And then you kind of get the drop with them, and all of a sudden something starts building up. You kind of got all these wacky lines, these wacky flows coming into play. And yeah, that's what I kind of gathered from that song. And obviously he's got the reference in there of the Black Lives Matter stuff.
No, definitely. I got a thing, Jack might totally disagree on what you said about the first bit. Jack, what's your thoughts on the song?
You know, being a big Kanye fan, you got to be a big Kid Cudi fan, man. To be honest, but if you listen to his stuff, that's what he's like, and he's an absolute master of what he does. And you just need to listen deeper than what you're hearing, kind of thing. With Kid Cudi, he's very clever in what he does, and some of the rhyme flows, like Sam said, we were talking about this before. Some of the rhyme flows that Kid Cudi brings into it, totally different from any other artist that you hear.
100%. I gave my reaction in the reaction video I've done. Just really quick summarize it. Kid Cudi, yeah, I'm not a big fan, but I really admire his workflow, his flow. He addressed a situation where people said he hasn't been around for a while. In the first sort of bars, he said he's been away, went to rehab or whatever. So thankfully he's better. I'm back. For Eminem, so Eminem spazzed on it in a different way that we'd expect, though. He spazzed on it in a lower, darker tone, but he spazzed on that. He went hard. But I checked the reaction video for that one as well. And finally, right, I don't really know how to introduce this bit, so I'm going to do it as best as I can. So the word entanglement, right? You think, maybe you're stuck in some vines and shit when you go for a walk. Like maybe you get stuck in the bushes or the leaves and shit.
That's the Frozen film. No, the Disney film, innit?
Oh yeah, Entangled, the Disney film. I think of that Pokemon. There was a Pokemon called something like that as well, bro. That way there. I think of that as well. But I've never quite heard the term entanglement in a way to explain the affair in a relationship. Okay, I'm not going to go into the details if it's a affair or not, they're broken up, whatever. Will Smith, massive actor, huge star on the music scene as well. His wife Jada, one of the best couples, which I don't think no one has a bad word to say about them. This all come out on her, what's it called? Round Table? I can't remember what it's called. Red Table, something?
Red Table.
Red Table, that was it. Yeah, so it all come out, and she had a bit of a relationship with August Alsina. Guys, what was your thoughts when you woke up to this?
Well, from what I've read about this, I mean, I've not kind of digged into it too much, but apparently they had an open relationship. That's what I've read, and this entanglement was because of the open relationship. But then there's other articles that I've also read that Will and her were literally just going to totally split up. There was divorce on the way, and this was her way of getting back at Will before the divorce went through.
I don't know. If you watch the video and see what she says on there, it's kind of, yeah, they was split up because I think Will Smith didn't want to be with her at that time. But I think it was kind of, they was more on a break. It sounded like, obviously being married and stuff, you can't really split up that easy, innit? But from what I've heard, she kept using the word healing as well, and using August Alsina as the way that was healing her health. And he was sick at the time as well, and kind of then they got into a relationship through it, which I don't know, man. It's just a bit weird to me, to be honest.
It's strange. Like they said that they as a family invited him into their house, to help with the healing stuff and whatever else. It's kind of mad. It's like, well, I'm gonna just bring it to our lives. Yeah, it's sort of like bring your whatever, bring your brethren to come meet your gal, and then they do a thing.
That's it.
It's kind of mad. I was just like, then. And I saw there's a lot of memes all that going around. One thing I will say, you never would have thought there was trouble because they never went in the media's eye about it. You never would have thought it.
This was 4 or 5 years ago that it happened.
4 years ago, yeah, exactly. And I did see one meme. They said Will Smith was born in September, so August comes before September. Alright, cool, whatever. But anyway, that was that. It's you know what? They're back on terms. They're all good and happy again. So
you can see from the video, you can see Will Smith ain't ready, man. Like
you can see.
Upset, bro.
My man's on smoke. He wants to smoke him. He's ready.
Yeah, you can see, and he's like, he ain't giving a shit what she's saying. He's trying to make jokes and laugh, but he's laughing, but you can tell.
Yeah, it's through gritted teeth. He's like, bitch, when you get home, just know, fam. It's gonna get peak.
But the thing is, I think Jaden was the one who brought August Alsina around. So your son has fucked you up.
Yeah, man, that's some power shit, fam. Ghost and his Tariq, all that shit, fam. It's hella peak out here, bro. But anyway, good to see the Smiths are all good and whatever, because they're truly one of my favourite couples, like celebrity wise, because they don't do no rare tear in the public eye and all that. They just do their thing. Anyway, so the title of this podcast, well, it's not decided yet because we've sort of just done it, but it will be along the lines of maybe Chipmunk versus the world, Chip against Bugzy. It's our first look at UK beef. And so we're basically going to look at the whole Chipmunk situation with Tine, with Yungen, and with Bugzy. So just going to put it out there now. Jack, you're a bit of a Tine fan, maybe within his prime?
Yeah, I liked him, but he weren't.
Yeah, he wasn't. Yeah, I'm the same as you. I'm definitely the same as you. Bill, you're a big Bugzy fan.
Yep.
And me, I'll be honest, I'm a Yungen fan, right? I like Yungen, but I am a huge Chip fan. Let's not get it twisted. He's my favourite. Jack, I know you're a big Chip fan when it comes to the lyrics, stuff like that as well. Bill, as we said, you're a big Bugzy fan anyway. But no, so we'll get into it, and we'll be as impartial as possible. We'll have a little talk about it, what we thought, and sort of maybe where it left all three. Well, four if you count Tiny as well. He didn't really get involved too much after. So it all begins on a cold winter's day in January 2014. Tiny Tempah gets invited by Charlie Sloth to do a fire in the booth. Nothing weird about that. And it's then a couple of lyrics that he said in there, which, you know, at the time, they just sort of brushed off. No one thought anything of it. A year to the day, 2015, in January, Chip's come, fire in the booth. He's had his project. We'll say that. We won't say success because it's viewed differently, but his project in America. He's come back to Grime. He's come back to fire in the booth. And he's just gone on a rant. He's just gone ham. So he picked up a couple of lyrics. One was the Pizza Boy lyric, which was obviously directly at him, that is. Because as he says, you're not going at Meek Mill. Yeah, you're not going. You'd be stupid to go at Meek Mill. Because he was on the song as well. But who else would it be? Well, it's only Chip. And the other one was, you know, a moment of silence for any rapper without a deal, is what Tiny said back in 2014, which Chip took as him saying, if you ain't got a deal, you ain't shit. That you're dead. A moment of silence is obviously death. You know, so when you watched this fire in the booth the first time, Jack, we'll start with you. What did you think when he went on this rant before he even said anything?
Well, I was just thinking, what is happening? Because obviously it's been a year since Tiny, so I'm thinking, shit, man, like I'm expecting something totally different from this fire in the booth, and then hearing that, I was like, what the f is going on? You know, you just sit there and you're like, this is mad. And then you kind of unravel it as time goes on, and it's like it makes sense. But yeah, it was weird at the time. I think me and you watched it pretty much at the same time.
Yeah, I remember. I think within one of our group chats or something, someone must have put it in there and said, "Shit, look," or whatever else. Bill, what was your first initial thoughts when you heard the rant?
I'm not gonna lie, yeah. I watched a couple of minutes of this at first. I remember when it came out, and I got bored. Yeah, and Bugsy's come out the next week. And I'm like, right, who's Bugzy going at? Who's he going at here? And then I had to watch last week's one to actually find out what the fuck was actually going on. Because I didn't have a fucking clue. Because obviously, Chip at the end of that fire in the booth invites anybody on. He's like, oh, I invite anybody on next week to come at me, basically. And then that's obviously how I tied the two together.
Yeah, so I think it was about 3 weeks later Bugzy come out because no one said anything for a little while about Chip stuff. And you're right, he said, if you hear funny things, if anything's got something to say, I'll be at your neck, rude boy.
Yeah.
That was the quote. I love this fire in the booth, as you could tell. I remember it word for word. He literally says, I'll be at your neck, rude boy. Like you said, Bill, he's literally offered an open challenge. Mm-hmm. Who wants it? He's basically said, I'm back. I'm back in Grime. I've done my thing over there. I'm back. Who wants it? No one picked up on it. And then, obviously, like you said, Bugzy did. You know, Tiny done his own little things here and there, done a few interviews and all that. Whatever else. He never took the mic to him. Whatever else. But so yeah, let's get in it. So Bugzy went into the booth, done his thing, and he just went. He just went at Chip. Like he done his first little thing on his own. Then he went for Chip. I was like, who's first of all, who's this?
Yeah.
You know, first thing, yeah. If you're from like Manchester, you probably knew him anyway. But here at Londoners, we're thinking, who's this? This man's just come with smoke. And I remember watching. I thought, he's good. Like he's good. I didn't think too much more at the time. Not gonna lie, I didn't think too much more. I just thought, oh, he's good. Was you surprised when it then went a step further and Chip released Pepper Rhythm?
In a way, no. To be honest, you know, Chip offered an open challenge to anybody. Bugsy's gone on there, responded like, hats off to the guy. Nobody knew who the fuck this guy was. and he's just gone at one of, well, some people would consider him one of the biggest grime MCs at the time, well, or coming back into grime, and he's just gone off at him. And it was a bit like, do you know what? I rate this guy for doing it, because nobody has a fucking clue who you are at the end of the day. Like, you've only got a couple of thousand views here and there, a couple of hundred views on your link up. So I remember going through YouTube and just looking at all of his older stuff. Like in 2014, he had a Street Fighter as well, I believe. So, yeah, it was like hats off to you, for going at him.
When he released Pepper Rhythm, Chip, obviously he went at Cameo, Saskula, Big Nasty. There's some iconic bars in there. I think the one where he says, "Shut up, go fry in your own grease," to Big Nasty. He literally said it. He said, "You ain't got 5 songs people know," to Bugzy. He literally come with fire. He's like, "I make more from pop than you do with a box." Things like that. He's literally said all this. Jack, what was your thoughts? He actually first of all gave this guy airtime, because that was a big thing straight away for me. That's why I didn't think he'd go at him. And then what did you think about the first Pepper Rhythm as a song, as a diss track?
Like, out of the whole beef, like, Pepper Rhythm was my favourite one.
Yeah.
Because there was just lions popping and it's going everywhere, man. There's shots firing all over the place, man. And there was like one, it's like, going to jail don't make you bad. That means you got caught in a move.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. He was just firing it off. Mad. But yeah, like, when I saw Bugzy, though, I was thinking, he was hard, like, at the time. So for Bugzy to come out being relatively unknown, it was just this guy. Like, I thought he did kind of one-up him on sometimes, but then Chip would always come that level higher. And then that's how they elevated. But yeah, man, the Pepper Rhythm was my favourite diss track.
No, 100%. I think the next one was for me when I thought, wow, this guy's good. And that was Relegation Rhythm.
Relegation Rhythm.
When he come with Relegation Rhythm, I thought I would don him in it. Like Chips just woke something up. And I'm not gonna lie, for a minute, and I even said to Jack, I remember we worked together at the time, I said to Jack straight, I said, I think my boy's in trouble. I was like, I think he might be in a bit of trouble. To be fair, Jack said from straight away, Jack was like, nah, he's not. Watch when he comes. I was like, yeah, I know, I'm still with you, he'll win, but I think he's in a bit of trouble. Like,
yeah, I remember this conversation.
Relegation Rhythm, he come with smoke, and I was like, shit. He called him out with the Chris Brown stuff. Yeah. He was like, how much did you pay Chris Brown for the feature and all that? Yeah. Just come with it. I was like, whoa, this guy's on smoke. And like, is that the one where he comes to Tottenham as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I was about to say, it's Relegation.
Comes to Tottenham. But what I will say, well, actually, we'll come to it next. But he comes to Tottenham, fair play. He did come down to Tottenham with about 30 man and whatever else. I think even then, Chipmunk was so clever. He got the final word on that as well. But Bill, being a Bugzy fan, obviously your support for Bugzy is growing and growing song by song at this point. Was you gassed? Did you think, yes, my boy's here?
Trust me, I was gassed up. Like you see, like the like before you watch the video, the thumbnail, and all you see is this guy in this fucking big puffer jacket, big chain, and his hat on. And you start playing a video, and he's like around London, and I'm like, oh shit, my man's fucking come all the way down from Manchester. He's on Tottenham High Road, like Chip claims as his ends, and he's fucking filming a video and going at Chip on it. And I was like, do you know what? This guy, he's got nothing to lose. He's got nothing to lose at all. Do you know what? If Chip does come and smoke this guy, it doesn't fucking matter. And Bugzy, I mean, I'm sure we'll touch on it in a little while, but Bugzy is so smart throughout this, I think, because this makes Bugzy what he is today.
I don't think there's no denying that at all. Like, Bugzy was the only one, be it Chip, Tine, they were already established stars. They were established in the scene. Obviously, Tiny went pop and stayed there. Chip went America, done his thing, come back. But they were established names in the UK scene. Bugzy wasn't. So he did ride this beef and made his name from it. The next one was my favourite, The End by Chipmunk. I love this because when I heard the beat, I thought he's about to smoke him. He's gonna smoke him now. This is it. This is where it ends. Like, it's called The End. And when Chipmunk says it's the end, we'll go through the songs after the next ones. But this is for me where Chip won it. For me, some people might say it was his next one, but we'll go for it. So the bit for me where he addresses what Bugzy done, he was like, "You think you're bad because you come at 2:00 in the morning. Next time, tweet your location the day before, dead." And he literally just done that, and I thought, you know what? There's not too many ways you could diss someone who's come to your ends, but that's how you do it. You say, okay, if you're thinking about it next time, tell us you're coming then. If you're bad, Chipmunk's not a smoke. He said it before in other songs. one we'll get into later as well with Yungen. He said, I'm not that guy. I'm not a smoke. Where he says, oh yeah, if you're on smoke, go chat 6-7. They got beef with you. So Yungen, which I don't think anyone wants to do. But anyway, so he's done all that. The end. So that was the one that started off big things for London. I've got big things for Tottenham and all that. It was that one. So what did you think of this one, first of all?
That was one that obviously the first initial reaction was the same. I was like, yeah, Chipmunk ain't losing there. You know what I mean? Like, after hearing that relegation rhythm, I knew Chipmunk weren't losing after that. I didn't really like it as much as I like Pepper Rhythm though.
Yeah.
That was my only reaction from that. But there was bars in there, obviously. But you see that he's taking a one up again. But I didn't like the tune as much as I did like Pepper Rhythm, to be honest.
No, of course. Then Bugzy come back. He didn't give up there. And he come back with one of which, if I'm honest, it gets overlooked. It wasn't too bad. You know, it wasn't too bad. I don't think it was as good as relegation, but it wasn't too bad. And that was The Revival. Come back, The Revival. So, Bill, what was your thoughts on The Revival?
The Revival, yeah. Do you know what? It sounded more like a song that he's trying to get to put in the charts, or he's trying to make a bit of money off this song because it had a hook constantly, and he's constantly going, "I'm the Chipmunk relegator. You're not the grand scene savior," and this is like the kind of hook throughout it, and it just sounded a bit cheesy for me on this one. But this was the one that got released, and then Chip goes totally fucking quiet. Well,
before you carry on, I will go into that now. So this is when, I'm going to be honest, he went quiet, and I was like, Jack, shit. Oh, no, Jack, he's lost, bro. He's gone. He's gone. And then, bang, 1 week. It's just, wow. So he's released 3 in a week, right? So he's gone with my new favourite, Light Work, when he goes, this here's Sonic Boom. And he's just like, yeah, you're fucked. You're gone, bro. You're gone. For me, that one, this is where people say Chip won the beef. He went with there, he went relegation rhythm, and then he went hat trick. So he went done 3 in a row in a week, but then he also had the next 2 as well, which was 96 Bars of Revenge and Dickhead. So, Jack, when this come out, 3 in a week, we'll start with the first 3. It was Light Work, relegation rhythm, which I loved, and hat trick. What did you think when this come out?
I was the same, man. Relegation rhythm, that was the one that just took it for me. Especially
run out rhythm. Run out rhythm,
that's the one, yeah. But yeah, that was the one for me as well, and I thought, yeah, that's it, that's done now. But the Bugzy tune, like Bill was saying before, it was just like, yeah, it was a bit cheesy and it was a bit thing, but I think he was just trying to show his potential now as an artist, kind of thing.
Wasn't that the one where he talked about himself quite a bit in it as well? Like he was sort of saying his own story.
And I remember just hearing it, I thought, no, that's it, he's done now. But I think that he was just selling himself now, really, and he took his opportunity.
Yeah.
And now he's just trying to sell himself as an artist and make people listen to him, which he done it as a very good marketing strategy. But yeah, Chipmunk, man, he can't run out of bars, and that was his whole motto that whole year.
That was it. He then obviously went on to 96 Bars of Revenge, which then links into the beef we'll talk about in a moment, but we'll stay on this one for a second. We had 96 Bars of Revenge, and if I'm not correct, is that the one where he said certain DJs kiss ass right at the start?
Yeah.
Charlie Sloth.
Charlie Sloth, yeah.
Gone at him. And then obviously he went to Fire in the Booth Part 3, and he just said it to him there as well.
Yeah,
it was good to see, because obviously there's the whole Charlemagne interview where apparently Charlemagne said to Bugzy face to face, I don't rate you. Obviously it was edited and cut out, which would have been amazing to see, first of all. But and that's why Chip had an issue. He said, oh, that's why I think at one point Charlie says to him, look, let's have it out now, me and you, face to face, let's have it out. And Chip says, I'm just a bit smarter than that. You know, and it was so good. I loved it. I wanted to hear the conversation, but I loved that because he just said it straight. He said, I'm just a bit smarter than that. Like, because you've chopped and edited that. You'll chop and edit this.
Yeah.
I'm not stupid. Like, he said, I'm not that guy. So he come out and did that. Probably my favourite bars throughout the whole beef was in Dickhead, when he said, hat tricks for Dickhead, Patrick's a dickhead, Chipmunk's a sickhead. Whoa. It's like, he just killed Bugzy. He just killed Tiny. And he just said, I'm a sickhead, don't come at me. So he's gone 5 in a row at this point. And then Bugzy comes in with Zombie Rhythm, which has a bit, it wasn't full on at Chip. There was a bit of other stuff mixed in as well. Chip, Bill, do you remember that one?
I remember. I think you've got your timeline a little bit wrong here. Because I'm sure Wasteman comes out first, and then Zombie Rhythm comes out after Wasteman.
It does. I don't know why I've just skipped it. It's in my list, to be fair. It's in my list. I don't know why I've just skipped it.
Because Wasteman comes out, then Dickhead comes out, then Zombie Rhythm comes out, and then Chip comes out with the Duppy Rhythm. Yeah,
then he comes out with Alone, is the end one.
Yeah. And then...
Yeah, it's on my list. I don't know why I've just skipped it. But, yeah. So what was your thought? So we'll start with Wasteman first. After what you got to think, what he's responding to, what's just happened.
What he's responding to, what is he trying to fucking respond to? He needs to do a cipher for this or something, because he's trying to respond to 3-4 different songs all in one song. And once again, Waste Man, they weren't my favourites. You know, Chip ended it on the hat trick, really. In all honesty, you know, he comes back and he's doing 16. He's going, Waste Man, wait, and it's like, this ain't no good.
Yeah, I think this was the times where when Bugzy was releasing some of these, people clocked they're pre-recorded. And a lot of the thing that was going around then was a lot of people, when they've had beef with Chip, they pre-record. Whereas Chip, he just sees what you do. The next day, he puts something out. So you know it's not pre-recorded. He's gone straight. I mean, I think this showed the levels. And it's no surprise that Chip was a level above. It's no surprise. He's been doing this for years. You know, it's no surprise at all. But I think this really showed that when people pre-record, you're not on the same level as Chip. He can just come out of nowhere. But you know what? This is for me where I thought that maybe when he done 5 in a week or whatever, 3 in a week, sorry, whatever else, that's where I thought Bugzy should just release a song and do his own music. I thought, leave it now. You've done your thing. You showed you've got talent. You've got a platform now. The bit where I thought because he had the name, he had the opportunity there. I think he ruined himself a little bit when he went back, because everyone's like, you've lost, just stop. Yeah. But then he still went back or whatever. Don't get me wrong, he's not going to ruin himself because he's just got this big new stage. But he shouldn't have really gone back again. Like, know when you're beaten.
See, the thing is, Bugzy releases this, and it was pre-recorded. And then I think it was something like 45 minutes later, Chip goes and drops fucking Dickhead.
Yeah.
But then everyone was like, well, that must have been pre-recorded as well. So was it kind of tit for tat on this kind of aspect here?
Well, it all came out in interviews when they apparently squashed it. Chip said nothing was pre-recorded, and Bugzy admitted it was pre-recorded. Yeah. He come out and said it. He said it was pre-recorded. Which, you know, it takes a lot to admit it. I'll give him that as well, first of all. I think,
weren't that Chip one, he literally recorded a video in, like, the studio as well, didn't he? I think he done that.
I think it was in a petrol garage he does.
He done a petrol garage as well, but he done one. He's standing in the booth.
Yeah, I remember that one. That was... I can't remember which that one that was, actually.
I can't remember
what one.
Was it Duppy Rhythm?
No, I don't think it was. I think it was Lightwork, the one that's in a studio.
No, Lightwork was in that big blue room.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
Yeah, but no, you're right. He did do one in the studio because he's literally just sitting there. I think the video starts with him sort of tapping his fingers on a table or something like that. Yeah. I do remember.
You could see that he's literally just done it there and then.
Yeah.
And then they've edited the video and that's it. It's done.
It might have been Dicky, because he said, "Hey, if I'm a waste man, then this." He started saying, when he's talking, he said, "Well, if I'm a waste man, this guy's a dicky." Because at the start he says, "Oh, let me just strap that up because, you know, Chip can't run out of bars."
Yeah.
At the start he says it, so it might be that one. But look, that was obviously what happened. Then how long ago later was it? I want to say it was 2017. We wake up in the morning, there's pictures on Instagram. Giggs is at a party or whatever, and there's a picture on Instagram, and it's gone off in the group chats everywhere across the world. Bugzy and Chip have taken a picture together and they're smiling, they're cool. And everyone's like, rah, what's going on here? I mean, there's conflicting rumours, but I think the bottom line of what everyone's drawn to is that Giggs has apparently had something to do with calling the beef or whatever.
Yeah.
What did you think when you saw this? Like, did it, for me, I'll be honest, right, it killed the fascination of the beef for me a bit.
Yeah.
I was gassed.
I bet you were happy, yeah.
I was gassed, because I'm like, bruh, they fucking had this mad beef, You had Zombie Rhythm, then you had the Daily Duffy, and then you had the Mobo Awards, and then all of a sudden it's Christmas time. Giggs has apparently squashed the beef around the fucking Christmas table, like having a fucking food around a Christmas table or something. Yeah. And my man gonna do a fucking song together next. They're posing like they're gonna do a song together.
It was surreal when I saw it. I'm not gonna lie. I was gutted. I'm not gonna lie. I was gutted. I was like, shit, man. It's killed that air of wow, you know, about the prestige about it almost. Like, but that is, exactly.
You didn't expect it. You didn't really want it.
Yeah.
It did as well. Like, one of the best beefs we've had for a long while, and then it's like, oh shit, they're just standing next to each other. And then I think a lot of rumours started coming out. Then there was all the publicity stuff for them all. You know what I mean? So then it was like, shit, man. Like, it just takes out the whole energy of it.
Like, as we said the other week, I think we touched on Stormzy and Wiley. Yeah, I think a lot of this beef is now publicity stunts. It's a way to market themselves, and it's a way to get out there. As I said a minute earlier on, Bugzy had nothing to lose here. The stage was set for him, and my man's selling fucking trainers and clothing in JD at £150 a piece.
Mm.
You know.
Yeah, no, I hear that.
Grab this opportunity with two hands and like.
Yeah, and I mean, if you see an opportunity like that, you would take it as an artist. I think you need to, don't you? But it's just like, I don't know. Was it pre-planned? Maybe it could have been. I don't know.
I'd like to think it wasn't, obviously, just for the whole.
I'd always like to think.
Yeah, I do actually think that one was genuine. Whether that's just me being, oblivious to the truth or whatever, I do still think that one was genuine. The way it come up.
Yeah.
Because there was some, not personal, but there were things where he'd say, "Oh, this Manchester boy," he was like, "But Manchester, I love you. I just don't rate this idiot, whatever." He's like, "I don't rate you, bro. I rate Gecko and all that." All that come out, which I seconded, by the way. I was a big Gecko fan. But yeah, it was just that era. I think it was genuine. But just to slide back to the 96 bars of Revenge, there was a bar in there which at the time you just think, all right, cool, it don't mean nothing. But he's literally said, some of your best newcomers ain't new. So if you nominate Yungen, big up and nominate Sneakbo too. So this was just a passing bar. Now, obviously, this now has got Yungen's back up. He's saying, yo, why are you bringing me into this? What's going on? Yungen was still up and coming at the time. He was, now regardless of what Chip has said, he was still fairly new. Obviously, Chip knows a lot more about the industry than we do, so he's probably seen him for years. And that's why he says Sneakbo, who we all know was established by then, he's not new either, so he's sort of taking the piss. But then Younger's got his back up and said, yo, what's going on? And I think Comfy was the first one, right? I'm sure Comfy was the first one. So Younger's come out of nowhere. Right, I've got the timeline here. So Younger's come out of nowhere and he's just dropped Comfy. What was your thoughts on Comfy, first of all?
I thought it was a banger.
You did, I remember you did.
I like that one. Because this is like the time when Grime was coming back, man. And I was like, oh, this is a banger. And then, I don't know. I thought it was all right. But what did you think of that?
Comfy, yeah. As you
I know you like that one.
Yeah, do you know what? I'm trying to fucking remember the bars or even.
I'll give you the bar. The best bar from the thing was man want to talk about me at the mobiles like I ain't earned it. Man want to talk about my nomination like I don't deserve it. Man want to bring me down. I know man was happy with the verdict. And then the bit that I was sort of like, maybe, was how I didn't win something for 8 or 9 blood. Pour me a T-man's Kermit.
Okay, yeah.
That was big because he did go out and like 8 or 9. That was big. I've done the reaction to the remix and that. It was a big song. And obviously for Chip to say, if you're going to nominate Younger, big up and nominate Sneakbo too. Obviously both on the thing. They were good friends, Younger and Sneakbo. It's very controversial what Chip does. He doesn't do anything by accident. So yeah, what was your thoughts on Phil on Comfy? Obviously you said you liked it, but
yeah, I mean, it's one of them songs as well that kind of has that hook, doesn't it? He constantly goes, "I'm comfy," like throughout the song after every kind of 8 to 6. I think I'm going to say 8 bars, and he goes, "I'm comfy."
Track suits and my sliders, yeah, I'm comfy.
Yeah. Kind of, it's one of them kind of catchy songs as well, and I think it's the beef kind of now is different to how it used to be because the artists have got to also try and sell this song. They also want to put it on iTunes. They want to put it on Spotify. They want to put it on Apple Music. They want to get streams from it constantly. And there's the aspect of them wanting to earn money from it.
Yeah, they can still earn money just by putting it on YouTube. Do you know what I mean? So you don't have to sell the song really. You can put and monetize on YouTube and still make money off the track. So I don't think it's about that really. I think it's still about, obviously Young was kind of, he was kind of known in the industry, but he weren't really popping like he is obviously now. So I think he was trying to just get his way in any way possible as well. If he had a shot anyhow, he's just going to come out and kind of respond to it in a kind of way like that. I think that was the only way to do it.
100%. So then Chip's heard this and he's dropped probably one of my favourite tracks come from this one, which was the One Take Freestyle. They come and drop this. He was chilled though. He didn't go mad. He didn't spaz like Gets. He didn't spaz like Stormzy even. He was chilled. Like I can imagine Chip. He's probably smoked a bit of weed aside. He's chilled in his zone. He's kicking back. He's got all his boys. And the first thing he says was, "I take shots of these MCs when I want light or what." And he literally got light or what. And I just thought, shit, kill everyone. He's gonna kill everyone again. It it's a banging freestyle. It's the
Yeah.
one take. Don't be wrong. I'm not going to compare it to the original because that's another level. But it's an amazing freestyle. And I think at the end he said something like, "You've got 1 hour to take this down."
Yeah.
You know, something like that. He said to and that's all I was saying. He said, "What do you think of that? The freestyle?"
I mean, I'm not going to comment on it much because I can't actually remember it too much. I think the freestyle I remember watching was the next one, which is the one where he throws Chipmunk's Margellas in. Younger throws.
That's a bit further. That's a bit further.
Yeah, we'll come to that. That's
We'll come to that. Yeah.
Okay.
This is the one where he says, "You think you're a Big Mac, but you're not."
I can't remember this one in all honesty.
You know what, with this one take, I think it was overshadowed really because you had the Stormzy one, and I think Stormzy overshadowed Chip's one because Stormzy started taking shots at like Dappy and shit like that.
Oh shit! I remember the song.
Yeah, and I think that kind of took the shine off of Chip's one. That's probably why I don't remember it as much, Bill.
Yeah, I agree. I love this. I absolutely love this. Again, I'm probably subconsciously biased because I'm a Chip fan, but for me, one takes with the beat are always spazzing at you, going mad, ham. Chip's just come with bars.
Yeah.
He's just almost said, "I do what I want. I diss who I want. You know, I'm going to take this." Younger made obviously one as well further down the line, and then Chip's got back on another song, and he said, "Use man's beat, have manners," because he never said big up to any of them when he used it. Younger did it, but obviously it's the first thing Chip done. That takes on to Yungen Punk, which was the famous video for having Tiny Tempah in there smiling in his shades or whatever.
I forgot about this one.
And it was obviously the one in the petrol garage as well.
Yeah. So he's going at kind of Chip in the aspect of you done your Bugzy diss in the petrol station on Dickhead, so I'm going to go at you on this bit.
No, exactly. It's so this was one where Younger got a lot of criticism for it being pre-recorded. He got a lot. I remember at the time. And just reading through the notes, yeah, he got an absolute loads. Because at the time, yes, I'm just reading out, I've just remembered. So the photographer who done it, when this was being released, was actually spotted. He was actually Stormzy's photographer, and he was spotted in another country with Stormzy on his Snapchat when this video was being released. So they're like, well, how have you just done this then? Because you haven't.
Yeah.
So it's pretty mad in that sense. We'll go on to the next one after. What did you think of Punk, first of all?
I don't remember Punk too much, to be fair. Just as you said it, I remember the name, but I don't really remember none of the bars in there. It's just kind of one that just slipped my memory, to be honest.
It slips the memory, but I don't remember the song, but I remember the video, as you said it, as the one that's got Tine in it, and it's the one they've got where they're all sitting around a fucking table munching pizza. And they're going at the Pizza Boy lyric again.
Mm.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, that's the one. Is that the one where it starts with Meek Mill interview where he says he doesn't remember Chip or something like that?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure that's the one. I haven't got it here, but I'm sure it's the one. But he called it Shitmonk Diss, didn't he?
Yeah,
you remember?
Yeah.
He called it Shitmonk Diss. And he literally he went at him or whatever. So that was fine. But if you want to talk about recording stuff, 45 minutes after release, Chipmunk has a return for him. 45 minutes, and he's responded to what he said. Jack, I think this is the video in the booth.
Yeah, it might be actually, yeah.
It's the thingy in it, Michelle Rhythm.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, he just called it the Michelle of Destiny's Child. And he talked about playing dirty.
I remember texting you at the time, and I was like, he's just saying he's Destiny's Child Michelle. I was like, this is got to be mad.
I think I would text back saying, who the fuck's Michelle? I think that's who the fuck's Michelle.
I had to tell
you don't know him. But he's literally come back and he's come back with Michelle. He's called it Little Clive Diss, just to go real, and all that as well. He's bringing mums into the equation as well, didn't he? He said something about youngest government name and things like that.
I remember this one now.
Yeah, what did you think of it?
Mate, that was hard. I knew it was going to be hard as soon as I saw the name of what it was described as. I'm just trying to get it up.
I'm pretty sure this is the one where Chip starts going on at Yungen and saying, "Oh, you're part of Play Dirty, but you're just their fanboy more." Like,
yeah, he says you're Michelle Play Dirty. Yeah,
you're just fucking repping the name, like you're not even fucking doing anything for him.
Yeah, he's literally just said that to him. He's because I know in the one before where he goes, "Are you sure? Are you sure?" and he takes the piss out of like. It's weird because at that point I remember we had the conversation because he said "Play Dirty" a lot at this point, right? And we've just said, "Hold on, are Krept and Cone getting involved now? Are Krept and Cone are going to say something?" Because Not because obviously they're going to back Yungen, because, you know, you can see by features and all that, they've obviously got a good relationship with Chip. But he's mentioned Play Dirty a lot, right? And that's your label now, you know? That's your record at the end of the day. So I was thinking, is he going to go for them? For me, I was thinking, please do. Like, roast them too as well, because I don't really like them that much either. So I was thinking, please, like, they are what I would call, they're punchline rappers, right? They're punchline rappers. They're good. They're talented. You can't get away from it. But I think on beef, they wouldn't touch Chip. They wouldn't touch him on beef. But they'll come with the jokes and the banter and the punchlines. They're very good. Very good. Can't knock it. But, so yeah, the Michelle and Jack, final thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I'm just reading through the lyrics now, and he's talking about, if them man are Destiny's Child for you, hashtag Michelle from now. He said you took your whole style from Kanye, Patrick back up dancing.
Yeah.
It was just mad. And that was the one in the booth. I just see the video.
Yeah.
Literally in the booth.
I thought so, yeah. Is that the first one he goes, Chip can't run up? Yep. Something like that.
Yeah. Pizza Boy, and I got a delivery right for your dome.
That's it.
Said I want to dish you, I know. See the petrol station, that's my thing. And it was just mad. I remember this one.
Oh, he's something else. He's rude with it as well.
Yeah, he was rude in that one.
So next up comes probably his best one. Probably his best one in terms of punchlines. I'm not sure about quality, but in terms of punchlines, probably Younger's best one. And that was the Oopsie Daisy rhythm. So it starts off with Oopsie Daisies, I murked you again. Was it Crush Jamal in the palm of my hand?
Yeah.
Something like that. And he goes, I know Chipmunk, you know, something like that, and whatever. First of all, off the cuff, Bill, I know you wanted to say something about it before, so go with it.
Right, I'll rate this fucking video as well, yeah. Because he's got bare smart cars everywhere. And Chip at the time's rolling around in a smart car, isn't he? So he's got all the smart cars. I remember he's laying on top of the roof of these smart cars and he's fucking spitting. And then there was something about the Margellas at the end, and I can't remember what he does, but I remember he throws his Margellas in the bin.
He said, I'll just throw them and buy another pair.
Yeah, he throws them in the bin and then goes on about Chipmunk and his Margellas.
That was it. He goes, spin me out Margellas. I can't just go out and buy another pair.
Yeah, that's it. And yeah, that's what I remember from it. I just remember the smart cars, him fucking taking a piss with Chipmunk. And
it ends with Smarty workout. Doesn't it? There was a lot of stuff you're right about smart cars where he goes, he says something about the girl has got a restraining order or something like that, because Chip mentioned the restraining order a girl's got against Youngum. And then he says, why you asking about how I beat and things like that? And he says, oh, that was it. Young goes, I got a big whip to have a threesome in. You ain't even got space to get blows. He's sitting there, I was just like, shit.
This was the most powerful one for me, man, because the video was jokes.
Yeah.
Ours were jokes. But then I think there was a video that come out afterwards and they actually see Young'un getting the trainers out of the bin. What Chipmunk?
I heard this. I remember this.
Yeah.
I see it on Twitter. And then there's literally a video. You see Young'un actually pulling them out of the bin afterwards and Chip's just taking the piss again. But he's even drawing him out saying, you live in Chickwell now and all this kind of stuff. I remember Young'un saying
said you're an Essex boy, don't you, and all that.
Yeah.
He's, this is the one where he says, why are you talking about Tiny or something like that? He goes, Tiny, go buy his mum a new house. Something like that.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. He's,
that's probably the most memorable one from the book.
Yeah, definitely.
I think Chip got it taken down for copyright, didn't he? From the
start. He did. Like with the video that come out recently of, I want to say Link Up, or it might be Grime Daily. I want to say Link Up. They've obviously done their sort of documentary on this beef. He's had it taken down as well. There's a story behind it. I'm not going to get into it and whatever, but he's had that taken down. But yeah, it's definitely the most memorable one from Young's side anyway. Probably across the whole beef. It's the one which everyone just sort of cracked up a bit and it made you laugh. But see, with me with beef, when it comes to you're right though. When it comes to like beefs and that, you think if you're making people like laugh that much, is it really a diss or are you just having fun with it? I don't really know. They definitely got people talking.
Yeah, even girls were talking about it then. Like
everyone was.
Girls weren't on it then, and then just Young'un comes out and starts doing this one. Girls are talking about it. That's how you know it's gone to another level then.
No, 100%. Then I think one of the ones anyway that sort of ended it was Little Clive Diss 2. So he's come with this. I don't remember this too well, if I'm totally honest, hand on heart. But he literally just said, basically simple as he dropped it the next day again. So he dropped it straight away. He didn't waste no time. And it was delayed because of video editing or something and whatever else. So he had a bit to say about that. And this is where people are calling out Krept & Konan quite a bit as well. People were saying for him to get involved and things like that. But I think Chip come on, I just read it now, Chip come on Twitter when someone said, Krept & Konan, can you respond to the beef, what's going on with them? And he literally just commented on it, he went, lol, like LOL. He said, basically saying they're not going to say anything and whatever else. Do you remember this one too much, guys?
I don't remember this one too much, but I know there's a bit at the end where this is the reason the Upsy Daisy rhythm got taken down, and he basically just goes like, link up, you take this video down, or you owe me money for the beat and for the copyright. And I think that's why Link Up then proceeded to take this down.
That's exactly what it was. Yeah, it was because of all that. I think if I remember, I'm just reading now. He addressed everything Yungen said, and throws a diss to Youngen's mum as well.
Yeah.
And he's literally, this is the bit where he's sort of come back with Chip don't run out of bars.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's there's a bit of a Afrobeat twang on this one as well. There's a bit of Afrobeat twang, but so he's gone with all that, and then if I remember right, is this when Away Games come out from Yungen? Away Games come out. He didn't say too much. He done whatever he done on there because this was a time where obviously the big situation happened, and that was his Nando's got stolen.
Oh shit!
So I remember. I don't think we worked together at the time, but his Nando's got stolen. And there's the plug right there.
By Nando's, by the way.
But this is where the big sort of story come out that the video come out that some big brother has come and nicked his Nando's and Younger's run. Then obviously Younger come on Twitter or whatever and said, "No, I ran. I got my boys. And I come back 10 minutes later. The guy was gone. And fine." And it was in Away Games where Younger addresses it. He says, "I'm not stupid. If a big guy comes and takes my nose, I'm going to give it to him and go. I'm not stupid. I'm not about to get beaten up or whatever." So he said that, which then introduced peri peri sauce. Right. Let's start with Jack because I think Billy looks a bit confused. Like, what's going on? Hold on. Jack might explain it and you might remember it now. So Jack, what was your thoughts?
Oh, that was again where it's jokes as well, isn't it? Like he's just sitting in Nando's outside, just doing some dancing. You know what I mean? Peri peri sauce. And it was on the old school hip hop.
Old school beat. Oh,
I remember whose beat it was, but it's old school, man. Yeah, I like that one. That was probably another memorable one for me. I don't remember the Young and diss from before, but I remember this.
I don't think it was a diss so much. He sort of just addressed what's happened, and he addressed the Nando's thing and whatever. And then Chip come out with peri peri sauce.
I thought that just come out after the video, obviously where it gets slapped out of his hand and stuff. But I thought peri peri sauce was from that. I didn't realise there was a song in between. But yeah, that one was jokes, man. Bill, do you not remember this?
No, I don't remember. I'm looking at like the thumbbernail right now. And it's the one where he's in these green Stone Island, isn't it?
Yeah, so he says he basically said he says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10. If you can't hear them, basically saying, why don't you go respond to 6 9 because 6 9 not 6 9 6 7 rather. They dissed him, said something to Younger, and Younger just didn't reply. He didn't want it. He didn't want to smoke, and he was like, "You in the 4-4, Chippy's in the 4-door," and he just cussed him. He said, "A running man, the Olympics of Brazil, dog." That was what killed it for me. That bar. When he said that, I was like, "Oh shit, Youngin, you might as well go." But yeah, he literally just said. He also, what I said, Chip. He's done a lot of interviews where he admits he got rushed in Tottenham back in the day for his 10K chain that he was wearing at the time, and he mentioned it in this video as well. He literally says, running away, people might expect that from me. And that's why I've been rushed. I don't take that shit. Basically saying I'm not going to run. If I get, rushed, I get rushed. I ain't going to run, and whatever. But he just killed it with it. Basically, it was hilarious.
That was a good one.
It was so good, and that sort of closed the book on the whole sort of chapter. As we said, Tiny didn't say too much about the whole thing. I think he gave an interview. Obviously, him, Stormzy, and Bugzy released Pagan at the time. Which
Chip's Sonic after that Perry Sauce one. Someone called him Sonic because of his hair in the video.
Yeah, they did. You're right. Who
I
did?
remember what one that was.
Was that not a one before when he goes something about Sonic the Hedgehog? Bugzy said it a little while before.
Yeah, it sounds to be a Bugzy.
Bugzy said it. Because it's when he goes Sonic Boom.
Sonic Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember what
Because he
that
says it to he says it twice. He goes Sonic Boom, KTB hooks won't save you. When he says to Tiny,
Yeah.
he says
might
that.
be from time ago.
Yeah, and I think he's just brought it up, but it would definitely work for this one as well. You're right with his hairstyle. But that was sort of what it ended. So just really quickly, round table. Tiny is obviously doing his own thing, disturbing London and whatever else, doing his music. His clothing stuff as well. So he's doing that. So Chip, we know where Chip's gone from here. You know, he's gone strength to strength since he's come back. You know, and he's in the conversation for sort of like at least top 3 grime artists of any era, you could argue. But that's a different podcast. In terms of Bugzy, so Bill, you're a massive fan, always have been.
Mm-hmm.
Where's Bugzy like now? What's he doing in terms of music?
Right. Oh, in terms of music, at the moment, I don't think there's nothing planned. I mean, I've got him obviously on the socials. I've not seen anything coming out. I mean, I think he's working more on the clothing and the trainers, as I mentioned earlier on.
Yeah.
I mean, you see him in JD at like £150 a pair. And I watched an interview with him not long ago. And he says something about, obviously, be inspired is like his motto. And he said, when I was, by the age of 25, I wanted to be a millionaire. And I'm a millionaire already. He said, so I want more. I want to carry on going, and I want to keep on inspiring myself, and I want to inspire my family. And he goes, so now I've set myself this target of making myself more money, and I want the nice house, and I want the Batman cars and all that. I mean, obviously everyone knows about the crash not long ago, where he was in a bit of a bad way. But yeah, in terms of music, I haven't seen nothing from Bugzy pending.
No, he's definitely a talent. Yungen, Jack. What's Yungen?
You know what Yungen's done, man. He's come out and he's made bangers, and we like it. The Craig David ones. Do you know what I mean? He's making.
I forgot about that one, man. What a song that was.
He's making the summer bangers, man. Like you can't knock him. You can't knock him because I like Yungen and Chip. So
yeah, I'm the same. Yeah, I'm definitely the same. I think this beef, obviously, it gave Bugzy a platform. It gave Yungen the step up, maybe to be in the conversation now with better artists, to be a bit more noticed and play dirty, things like that. What people don't say is what it done for Chip. It was such a unique way to come back into a scene, though. That's what I will say. It was never going to lift him into a bigger artist because these two were not on his level.
No.
You know, it's not like he's going at Skepta, he's going at Stormzy, he's going at Wiley. If it was that, then fine. But he wasn't doing that. But what it did do, it brought him back into the scene and gave him sort of a foot back in, and he just went with it. You know, and that's one thing that Chip's very good. He just goes with it. From then he obviously released a couple of albums, has done so many collabs, we won't even go into that, and whatever else. So you could say to an extent all 3 of them have come off better than when they started in 2015. Like I say, Yungen, for me, he's probably the king of the summer bangers, when it comes to it. You can probably argue Young Bane is there and thereabouts, there's a couple, but he always seems to get it right, and things like that. So Younger's brilliant with it. Bugzy went off massively, as we spoke about, and like I said, Chipmunks had that foot in the door. Do you think we'll get a beef like this again?
It's different now, I think it's like the whole Wiley Stormzy kind of thing. Yeah, you go back and forward every now and then, but I don't think it's got the excitement now, really. I think it's kind of, I don't know, you see too much talking on Twitter, you see it all going off. It's not that exciting because it feels like something's missing here. It's not got that raw energy no more. And they're trying to polish their videos. Like you see the one with Stormzy with a cup of tea and he's in this big ass like warehouse kind of thing. It looks too polished. I know Wiley was putting the ones back and he's just in his house, but do you know what I mean? It's just, there's something not right about how it's going now.
What I would say is, and Bill, this is more for you. Obviously, with the emergence of drill music and things like that now, if people have a beef with each other, it just, for me, it feels like it's going to be sorted away from the microphones, and away from the pen and papers. That's why it's probably not as exciting to see anymore, because you now think, shit, it's more on road than in the booth.
Yeah. You kind of, when you do hear your drill music now, it's them taking shots at rival gangs, isn't it? And 9 times out of 10, they're going to run up on them that same night. So, I mean, in terms of the Wiley Stormzy kind of beef, it was far too marketed. It was all over Twitter. It's all over the radio. You've got everyone talking about it. You know, my fucking nan knows about Wiley and Stormzy going at each other. It's ridiculous, really.
It's like you say when you say it's too polished now. I mean, grime was still back then when it was still that genre that people didn't really want to listen to, and I think it propelled it. Yeah, it did do good things for grime, but now it's gone like, say, how hip hop's gone. Do you know what I mean? It's very polished, and when you do hear a beef, it hasn't got that grip to it. And I mean, drill could do that because that's kind of the modern day grime, but it's just like you say, it's more settled on the roads than just talking through the music.
Which itself is a massive shame, but yeah, so that was it. Obviously, it sort of ended 3 years ago. I want to say 3.5 years ago. I think start 2017 was the end of that sort of chapter in the history of grime. That's really it from us. Any final thoughts from either of you two?
I want to ask everyone a question. Yeah.
Okay.
And this is Bugzy and Chip. Yeah.
Chip.
In terms of success.
Chip.
In terms of success with money,
Chip.
Who do you think's better off?
Chip.
No,
Chip.
never. Chip. I think Bugsy's worth way more than Chip is now.
Yeah, but that's because of clothing. This is
don't read into what you believe, what you see with Chip. He's too clever. He don't show half.
Yeah, he won't show you how much he's made.
He's too clever.
With clothing like Bugzy, you wouldn't really be saying, like, I've seen that interview you're saying about he's made $1 million or whatever, but you're gonna say that. Do you know what I mean? You wouldn't really want to tell people how much money you've made. That's one thing that you shouldn't say.
And also, that's probably whether it is or isn't, doesn't really matter. But it's probably not $1 million cash either. It's probably tied in assets, in clothing ranges, and things like that. You know what maybe the brand is worth. You know, it could be a few $100,000 on top of what he's made in music, things like that. I don't think it's $1 million cash plus everything else.
Oh no, probably from drug dealings in the past, maybe. But
I'm not commenting on that with his drug dealing. I'm not commenting on that. We do not know. It's Schrodinger's cat. He might be, he might not be. We don't know. Anyway, what I will say is that aside, Chip without doubt, I mean, he's so clever with it. He's one of the most highly sought after artists in the UK to do a collab with. You know, things like that. It's like I said, for Chip, everyone says, oh, he had nothing to gain from this. It was all Bugsy's to gain. Well, hold on. This guy went to America, had varied success depending on who you asked. Had this album transition, which people said it's shit. People said it's brilliant. For me, it's ahead of its time. Whether it was good or bad, it was ahead of its time. That's what it definitely was for me. But he was coming back to grime when people didn't want it. I think if you look at the video of the disses, he's got so many dislikes in it because people said, why are you coming back to grime?
Yeah.
He come back, he gave these man smoke, and he said, don't sleep on me. I'm still one of the best.
Yeah.
Simple as that. So that was for me. But I don't knock Bugzy either, man. He's come out of it so good. You mentioned the crash. That thankfully was okay because he's truly talented, man. He's really talented. I mean, Manchester has got 3 very good artists to offer, and they're all very different. You know, you got Bugzy, hardcore with it. You got H, he's fucking amazing, that guy. You know, whatever people think about, if you like him or don't, he's unique. That's what he is. Then you got Gecko with probably the most unique voice in the UK industry. You know, Manchester are throwing out some of the best going at the moment. But
they're doing their thing, Manchester. It's good to see like people from up north kind of coming into the scene because you never saw that before.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing.
It's so good to see because I think someone like H, obviously you say what what Bugzy said about making $1 million by 25. Well, H made it by 19, didn't he? Like he's just gone with it. He's just absolutely smashed it.
Yeah.
And
I'd argue that H has probably done more musically than Bugzy would. Like Bugzy did.
Yeah, commercially, H has probably done a lot more than Bugzy has. He's made it more that kind of commercial side, especially with Bust Down. That kind of that was the first time I ever heard of H. To be honest, was on the Bust Down. I think I heard him on a Bugzy.
He's done a freestyle.
He done a freestyle, yeah. He done a freestyle first. He killed about 6 different hip hop beats in one freestyle.
Yeah.
He done that. Then he come up with so much fire. He done obviously the recent one with AJ Tracy, which probably 2 of the hottest things in UK music right now. H and AJ Tracy. You know, it's good to see. It's good to see, like you say, Jack, that Manchester are doing their thing. Artists are coming from up north, but I think the future of grime, you know, depending on what you want to call it, UK hip hop now, whatever, the UK industry for music, it looks bright. These guys are still young. Bugzy, that was 4 years ago. He's still young. You know, they all are. So it is good to see. It's exciting to see as well. But
it's good to see the scene just growing and growing, man. It's like yeah, grime might be kind of fizzling out, but you still got the whole Afro side. You've got the drill side. It is getting better. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's just mad to see our scene just kind of evolve.
No, definitely.
Over the years.
100%. Well, guys, like I said, that was the end of this podcast. Let a really quick wrap up. Thank you so much for watching again. We'll be back with another video next week. Let us know your thoughts, what you want to see next, and continue to look out for those reaction videos. Until next week, stay safe and see you then.